Now, they convinced you that this was a conspiracy. They called us extremists, paranoid, and delusional. But today, the masks come off because Tulsi Gabbard just dropped the most explosive files in modern history, proving that Barack Obama orchestrated a plot to take down Trump. And now she's demanding criminal charges. They were never crazy. They were just hoping you never find out.
Fox News alert, we just got a peek inside Obama's black book, and it turns out Barack knew the Russia hoax was a hoax all along, but pushed it anyway to sabotage the Trump presidency. DNI Tulsi Gabbard declassifying pages and pages of documents, showing Obama's intel guys briefed him just weeks after the 2016 election that the Russians didn't actually sway the election. Quote, we assessed that Russian and criminal actors did not impact the recent U.S. election results. Criminal activity also failed to reach the scale and sophistication necessary to change election outcomes. But Obama just couldn't accept that. So he and his staff instructed intel agencies to cook up new reports to support Russia collusion. Quote, after the meetings, Clapper's executive assistant emailed intelligence community leaders, tasking them to create a new intelligence community assessment per the president's request that detailed the tools Moscow used and actions it took to influence the 2016 election.
Wow.
Tulsi Gabbard described what she found as a conspiracy to subvert the will of the American people. And she says the people involved should be prosecuted and has made a criminal referral to the Department of Justice. We knew Hillary created the dossier, and now we have proof that Barack was calling the shots. Wow. And the documents to prove it.
Let's break this down for the folks in the back real quick. First of all, this isn't speculation. These aren't Twitter threads. These are declassified government documents Tulsi released as the director of national intelligence, showing Obama knew the Russia narrative was false before it ever hit the headlines. And what did he do? Launched it anyway. Trump was right, huh? Can't wait to see the media meltdown, the left-wing media meltdown about this. You know, he weaponized the FBI, mobilized intel agencies, all to sabotage the peaceful transition of power because he knew he couldn't accept the will of the people. And just when you think it couldn't get any more dangerous, listen to how deep the plot actually goes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sean. This is such an important issue, and I just want to start by saying that this is an issue that is important to every single one of us as Americans. This is not a partisan issue. It has to do with the integrity and the strength of our democratic republic. And it lays out this over 100 documents that you're referencing that I released, declassified and released, spells out in great detail exactly what happens when you have some of the most powerful people in our country directly leading at the helm, President Obama and his senior-most national security cabinet, James Comey, John Brennan, James Clapper, and Susan Rice and others, essentially making a very intentional decision to create this manufactured, politicized piece of intelligence with the objective of subverting the will of the American people who in November of 2016 delivered a historic victory to President Trump, defeating Hillary Clinton. And President Obama and his team, their goal was to essentially not accept the decision of the American people and to use this manufactured, politicized intelligence as a means to enact what would become essentially a years-long coup against President Trump. You have gone into great detail over these years of what the effects of this document and this decision have resulted in. Obviously, a years-long Mueller investigation that cost taxpayers almost $40 million, two congressional impeachments, endless smears and attacks against not only President Trump, but his family. He had senior members of his team who were investigated, some arrested and jailed. We had heightened and increased tensions between the United States and Russia. The list goes on and on about the consequences of President Obama and his senior cabinet members politicizing intelligence once again, and I say these words very clearly, to enact what was essentially a years-long coup, subverting the will of the American people in that election in November. Now, you referenced this president's daily brief document.
She said most alarming act of treason since the Lincoln assassination. Telling y'all, this ain't just a hot take. That's an historical marker. Obama, Biden. I'm sorry, I said Biden. It's just so easy to say his name. Brennan, Comey, Clapper. They didn't just violate norms. They orchestrated a coup. You see, the goal wasn't to just smear Donald Trump. It was to cripple the very foundation of our votes. That's what I think. Disclaimer, YouTube. But same thing. This wasn't about Trump. It was about you. And Tulsi just made sure we got the receipts. Now watch how Obama, the Obama administration, used the intelligence community as a personal PR firm with no evidence, just control.
This is another instance where you see the Democrats having projected what they were doing onto Donald Trump. The Obama administration was undermining public confidence in the elections, deliberately undermining confidence in the elections, and then accusing the Trump campaign of doing the very same thing. They knew that they didn't have the actual intel or any evidence to actually bring any charges against Trump because, of course, he didn't do any of the things they were accusing him of, but they were constantly leaking to the news media. And that was one of the things that we saw revealed today in these new documents, is that they were using the intelligence community essentially as a public relations arm. This is another.
This is projection 101. They accused Trump of what they were doing the entire time. They knew they had nothing, no crimes, no collusion. So they leaked fake stories to the media to build public pressure. Okay. Let me try to say this plain. Obama corrupted our most powerful institutions to protect his party and destroy his political enemy. And the next part, it proves it was never about Russia. It was about control, suppression. It was also about sabotage. Yeah. This meme right here came about. Actually, this is the wrong clip. I feel embarrassed because, I'm supposed to be hold on, let me get the right clip. I blame the Democrats. They were trying to sabotage the order of my videos. I sound like a Democrat not taking responsibility. Anywho, Obamagate.
Trump will not be president. Highly critical, biased text messages between senior FBI officials Peter Strzok and Lisa Page.
There will be no question about the outcome of this election.
And she got ahead of herself. This utterly stunned this campaign.
Head home. You should get some sleep. We'll have more to say tomorrow.
Our constitutional democracy enshrines the peaceful transfer of power.
The peaceful transition of power is one of the hallmarks of our democracy. We want to do everything we can to help you succeed, because if you succeed, then the country succeeds. These declassified documents that were just released.
Officials in the Obama administration were asking for the identities to be unmasked of Americans.
Unmasking of aides and staffers of the incoming president.
The basic charge, political spying.
To disrupt the peaceful transfer of power.
Unmasking of American citizens. It could be a real problem.
Why is it that the unmasking of Flynn somehow ended up in the pages of the Washington Post?
I know nothing about those moves to investigate Michael Flynn.
The vice president said that yesterday, and then the last name on this list is Joe Biden.
The Obama administration was bitter. They wanted to do everything they could to undermine the incoming Trump administration.
Really designed to sabotage and really upend the new administration.
An outgoing president and a vice president and a Washington Post columnist and the FBI setting up an incoming administration. Wow, that's a real conspiracy, and nobody wants to talk about it.
Well, let's talk about Obamagate. Let's talk about it. The unmasking of Americans. The FBI text from, I don't know this guy's name. Storks. Let's just say FBI text that says we'll stop him. Then you have Michael Flynn destroyed. Biden's name on unmasking docs. Leaks to the press. They didn't just spy, man. They sabotaged. They didn't doubt Trump. They feared that man. This proves it. And you want to know why? Because Trump was the first president that they couldn't control. couldn't be bought. He couldn't be bribed. He had enough money to not have to go through with the do this, I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? And now the truth is finally pushing through the noise. Watch this symbolism and feel what's happening in America right now. See, boom, I messed up again. Y'all already know the next clip now. So, well, yeah. We're going to go back to this. Now, this ain't just a scene in the movie. It's a prophecy. I want y'all to see this caption. I'm still trying to process what just happened. The highest-ranking U.S. intelligence official just released smoking gun docs proving that Obama and his underlings committed treason/sedation. Meaning Trump was right about everything. The news is fake and the deep state is real. Meaning that all of us conspiracy theorists were right about the conspiracy against Trump. It wasn't a theory. Meaning the shadow war is real. And all our efforts over the last 10 years were not part of a LARP. I got to look that up. Meaning that we are not crazy. We were right. And this was real. And they followed it by the Pursuit of Happiness clip with Will Smith when he finally had a breakthrough. Y'all remember the scene, but that's why I said it ain't just a scene in the movie. It's more like a prophecy because for every year they marked us. Every time they said the deep state's not real, every headline that tried to make you feel crazy, we just walked through the crowd like this, head high, truth in hand, and now we're here. But let me show you what happens when the left gets cornered with facts, okay? They fold, they deflect, and they flat out don't care. Y'all already seen who it was. Don't act surprised.
Do you know how many people Barack Obama deported in 8 years?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Well, why don't you guess?
I don't know and don't care.
Well,
you
hang
tell
on,
me.
hang on. You don't know and you don't care. You've just given me...
Because it's not the
you've
issue.
Just given, hang on,
you're
hang
trying
on,
to make
on.
the issue the
hang
southern
on,
border.
Joy. You've just given me... Joy,
Donald, no,
Joy,
no, the point is
Joy,
Barack
you've just given me...
Obama
Joy,
was not dragging
Joy,
women
Joy,
and
let me finish. You've just...
nursing
Joy,
babies apart
Joy,
and
Joy,
taking...
Joy, you've just given me...
You're, I'm sure, going to tell me it's your main issue.
You've just given me
but
a
it's
late...
not my main
Joy,
issue.
You've just...
My main
Joy,
issue is that what
Joy,
we're seeing...
I'm trying to finish...
Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. I got to hear him say Joy again.
Joy, let me finish. You've just...
nursing
Joy,
babies apart
Joy,
and
Joy,
taking...
Joy, you've just given me...
You're, I'm sure, going to tell me it's your main issue.
You've just given me
but
a
it's
late...
not my main
Joy,
issue.
You've
my
just...
main
Joy,
issue is that what
Joy,
we're seeing...
I'm trying to finish my sentence. You've
Please.
just given me a lengthy monologue attacking Donald Trump's aggressive deportation policy. And I've simply said to you, there was a Democrat, a black Democrat president of the United States for 8 years. I'm simply asking, given that you're obviously all over every detail of the Trump deportation policy, and given you were on the airwaves in America on a daily basis through Obama's tenure, how many people did he deport in 8 years?
I do not know. You'll tell me, I'm sure.
Have a guess.
But it's probably more...
You don't know and you still wonder why your show got canceled? Wow.
8 years.
I do not know. You'll tell me, I'm sure.
Have a guess.
But it's probably more than 1 million people. I'm quite certain.
Have a
because
guess.
I think each 2 million.
Right. It was 3 million.
Okay. And your point being what?
My point
What's
being,
the point?
are you as shocked by that as you are claiming to be by Trump?
It is not deportations
Many of them were
themselves that
brown.
are shocking. Wait a minute. Can I answer
in
your
fact,
question?
the majority were brown.
And there it is. I would have loved to hear a response. They clipped it like this, though. But you ask Joy Reid how many people Obama deported. She says, I don't know, and I don't care. That's the entire Democrat Party in one sentence. They don't want truth. They want power. And they'll destroy anyone who threatens it. Obama did it with intelligence agencies. Biden did it with his executive orders. And they think no one will ever hold them accountable? It seems like it. I hope that finally some accountability is going to come. Well, not when you're the president, you're pardoning yourself and the whole thing. But guess what? Justice might finally be knocking because this next clip shows the cover-up as already started to crumble.
Looking out of Kentucky, he said this in a statement. It's a long statement. I'll just read one line. There is now a pattern of key Biden confidants seeking to shield themselves from criminal liability for this potential conspiracy. End quote there. We'll see who goes next. They have put out a series of videos later in the day of their witnesses pleading the fifth and sitting next to their attorneys. I would imagine Comer's committee is going to do the same thing at some point today as well. So that's the latest from looking at a Kentucky.
Yeah. You don't plead the fifth if you got nothing to hide. Now, this is Annie. I don't know her name, but that was Biden's top aide. Just did what the guilty do. Lay up and run. Yeah, that's the third Biden official dodging questions in this investigation. So, the story isn't going away. Tulsi has more coming. And they know Obama might actually get charged, huh? You see, they try to bury the truth. That's what they always do. But we're in a generation that we going to dig that thing right back up. Tulsi Gabbard didn't just expose the scandal. She lit the fuse. And on the biggest political takedown since Watergate is what I'm hearing. And guess what? It's not Trump who's going to prison. It's the ones who spent 8 years lying about him. It's just... Y'all be safe. Go check on somebody today. You could be saving their life. Peace.